was a more confident leader. He worked out really. He always trains hard. He's always seems like he's always in a good mood, excited about practice. Just a really fun kid to coach. But I don't know that he trained. I mean, everybody trained different this year because they didn't have to deal with COVID. But his training was a commitment to gaining a little weight, being a better leader, and I certainly thought he took on the role of leadership much better.
Hey, Kirby, you got any updates on guys like Blaylock, Kearis maybe this week? Just updates on it. I don't know. There's a lot of guys that are banged up. Do you have an update on those guys?
I told you on Monday. I mean, Blaylock and Kearis are practicing every day. They're repping. They're going. I mean, basically they're cleared, right? Kearis was out there. Dom's working out. He's practicing every day. It's a matter of those guys working themselves back in. I mean, the body of work that Ladd and Jalen have, Kearis is not 100%. Dom may be closer to 100% than Kearis, but there's not a lot more we can do other than them getting reps and working themselves back. So, I mean, everybody wants to know when they're back. They're back. They're just not completely 100%. So when they're better than the guy that's playing, we'll get them out there. And you know, they're not 100% right now.
Okay, let's go to Jake Rowe and then Seth Emerson.
Kirby, just to clarify that, you did say Dom is cleared now. Is that right?
Dom's been practicing. Dom's been practicing for a while. Dom he's getting confidence back in his knee. He's getting stamina back. He's getting contact. He's getting reps back. I mean, he's you know, it's more guys than just saying he's cleared. It goes back to our quarterback last year. You know, I mean, you can't just say, well, you got to put him out there. No, it takes more than that. I mean, you're out there with people trying to knock your head off, and you've had an ACL surgery, and you'd like to be 100% of your old self, and it may take a little while to do that, especially on a second ACL. So he's cleared to practice, and he does all kinds of things. But there's a difference, guys, between being game ready and going out there and practicing.
Kirby, since obviously you're thrilled with receiver injury questions, let me ask about George Pickens. I guess we haven't asked about him. What's he doing right now? Is there a feeling this could be even a mid-season type deal, or is it still late season? Where is he right now?
He's rehabbing every day. He's lifting every day. He's going to school, doing all school work, and he's done a good job of doing that. So we'll see. We don't know. I mean, it's one of those. He gets a kind of a monthly update. We haven't had an update in quite a while. I think he's scheduled to go see Dr. Andrews here soon to check up and visit. But he's doing his rehab and he's working hard and he's straight line and running. But I have no idea of a date of return. I mean, that's just too far out right now.
Okay, let's go to Mike Griffith and then Palmer Toms.
Hey, Kirby, can you talk about some of the challenges that UAB presents on defense? I think they've got 9 guys back from a defense that ranked in the top 10 last year.
Yeah, they're really good on defense. Bill does a tremendous job mixing up coverages. They got long, rangy outside backer types that are hard to block, quick twitch guys, really athletic linebackers in their secondary. I mean, they have a lot of guys that started a lot of games. I mean, the 2 corners, it seems like they've been playing forever. You go back and you watch games on them, and it seems like that same group of secondary has been playing for a long time. They do a great job. People don't understand. I mean, these guys are a 1-score game late in the game with Miami. You know what they did to Georgia a long time ago, and they played them really tight. I mean, they do a tremendous job. They got really good football players, and I got a lot of respect for the way they play defense.
Kirby, I know you've always emphasized that special teams is an opportunity for some young guys to get a chance to get on the field. Who are some of those guys that have stood out to you that you think maybe have a chance to prove themselves in a game like this?
Yeah, Smile Munden's a guy who does a lot of good things on special teams. Kamari Lasker does some good things on special teams. Arian was dominant the other night, made some big plays. Kendall Milton stepped up and did a lot of good things on special teams. So we have a lot of our freshmen in our 2 deep on special teams. Jamon has done a good job there. I mean, Ryan Davis, we have a lot of guys that are going to be able to play a role and hopefully a bigger role and special teams. We didn't get a lot of opportunities the other night.
Let's go to Chip Towers and then Catherine Lewis.
Hey, Coach, we didn't get a chance to talk about J-Pods the other night. Unusual to see him to miss it all, based on what he did last year. But, he informed us earlier he had been placed on scholarship. And just in general, how's Jack done? And how do you feel about things going forward? That one miss, I guess, just it happens to the best of them, right?
Yep. I mean, I'm very pleased with his work ethic, his attention to detail, and he does a great job of preparing himself mentally every day, day in and day out. And looking forward to getting him back out there for another one because I got a lot of confidence in him.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask you about your new defensive backs coach. It seems like he's doing well considering the secondary success so far, but how is he kind of settling into this new team?
He's done a tremendous job. He's very intelligent. He works extremely hard. He has a great relationship with both recruits and players. He's diligent, and I appreciate the hard work he's put in, and his family's come to Athens, and hopefully gets to see a Sanford Stadium atmosphere for the first time on Saturday.
All right, let's go to Mark Weiser and then Vance Levy.
Kirby, regarding filling in for Tate's injury, you mentioned yesterday about, I guess wanting to have both those centers, available, I guess, because of the importance of that position. Would you eventually like to have someone else play right guard than Erickson, or if those are your best five and those two guys have to go out, that's the way you'll roll?
Yep, we want the best five to play for sure. So it's a depth concern because we have to have enough guards and we have to have enough centers. So we'll play the best five and hopefully provide enough depth while doing that. But if something happens to a center, then we've got to have a center ready. So you got to have two centers more than you got to have the guards available. We've got tackles that can play guard, but we don't have tackles that can play center.
Kirby, you talked yesterday about the team needing to everywhere, I think is the word you used, as far as paying attention to details. How did they come out today in practice as far as that goes? And then have you made a decision on your number 2 quarterback?
Yeah, Monday was a good attention to detail practice, had a lot of energy, enthusiasm, moved around. I think the Labor Day sleeping in probably helped them some, but today we were not as sharp, didn't have as good a practice as we did Monday. So hopefully that'll improve tomorrow. Carson's been our number 2 quarterback. He's worked with the twos and he's worked a lot there and taken a lot of reps. Stetson still gets some reps from time to time, but he's got a lot of banked reps. So we ask him to do a lot of things mentally to be prepared and ready to go.
Okay, let's go to Brandon Sudge and then Roddy Nabulsi.
Hey, Kirby, I wanted to ask you about Dan Jackson. He's the guy who you spoke to us a little bit earlier about. Said that he had been performing well in practice, but I'm not sure anybody expected him to earn a quarter of the snaps the other night. Can you speak about the job that he's done to get into that rotation at safety and kind of how you guys kind of came upon him out of high school and everything?
Yeah, Dan came to us and wanted to walk on, and certainly thought he was a good high school player, watched his tape and thought he could help us. Didn't realize that he would help us this quickly. He's a really good athlete, very intelligent. When he first got here, the first summer, he ran a really fast 40 time, and we thought, well, this guy could help us. He could play on special teams. And he's done more than that. He's taken an opportunity where we have very, very limited depth, and he seized it. He seized the moment, and he's gone out and practiced really hard. Towards the end of last year bowl practice, we started working him in and saw some flashes, and then spring practice, he went with the twos pretty much the whole time and had a good spring, and we felt good about his role. And he's a great kid. He's a really smart kid, and he works really hard every day. He's a blessing to coach.
As usual, Coach, we don't get to see some of your other players and we get questions about them. So I'll hit you up for a litany of your other linemen. So, you need to move some guys around. Can you tell us a little bit about Clay Webb, Chad Lindbergh, Devin Willock, and maybe Austin Blasky? Some of the guys that we don't see that may not, they're not right there in that starting role, but, people ask us, how are they doing? And I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, tell them they can, come to the spring game and see them. They can come out and watch them in warm-ups for the game, or, if we're fortunate enough ever to get a lead, they may get to watch them. But right now we're worried about their safety on the field. And that's the key for our guys to stay safe. And Devin Willock's done a great job. He's a big guard. He's working with the twos at guard, and we think he's going to be a good football player. Lindbergh got to go in the other night and got to play on special teams. And he filled a big role for us on PAT field goal when Tate went out. He's working at guard as well. Clay's been injured, in and out of injured some, and had a little bout with mono there for a little bit and lost some weight. And I forget who the Blasky's been working at the third center, and he does a really good job at center. He's able to play probably all 5 positions across the board, and continues to improve and get better.
Thank you.
Connor, did I call on you earlier?
You did not.
Okay, let's go to Connor and then Jed May.
Perfect. Kirby, you mentioned yesterday that Broderick Jones is ready. What does that process for him to get ready look like, especially in his second year in the program now?
He's ready. I don't understand what you're asking. What is the process for him to get ready? He's ready.
What did he do to sort of get to that point to where he is now ready to play and contribute?
He's done about 60 or 70 practices. He's had probably about 200 lifts. He's had about 100 and something days of workouts and different things, but he's worked really hard. I mean, he's improved. He was not very strong last year. He was weak at the point. He's put on some weight. He's about 315. He's intelligent. He's played left and right tackle. He understands how to pass off twists and games. He's still got, a ways to go to be ahead of the guy in front of him, but he's a good football player, and we think he's ready to play.
Kirby, I think you mentioned last week that, as far as receivers go, it's one of those things where they just need game reps to get on the field and get better. Is Keely Ringo another guy that would sort of fall into that? Obviously, you've seen enough from him to give him some good playing time the other night. And some of those mistakes he made, with the pass interference, is that just a product of him needing more game reps to get experience and get better?
I hope so. I certainly hope so. I hope that he gets better with game experience, practice experience, playing the ball in and out of phase. He's got really good ball skills. So I'm excited to see him play, because I think that some people are going to go after him because of the pass interference calls. But I mean, I'll be honest with you, he's one of our best ball skill guys. Go up and attack the ball. So I hope he gets an opportunity to do that.
We got time for 2 more questions. Anyone got a follow up? Go ahead.
Coach, just real quick, I haven't asked you lately about how Coach Cochran is doing.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in probably, I guess, right before the Clemson game. We spoke a little bit, but seems to be doing well, and looking forward to getting him back here.
Hey, Kirby, I got a message from Kobe Pierce recently, one of your former players. He asked me he wanted to know who was performing well on the scout team, and he asked me to report back over to him. So just asking about scouts.
I would say Brock Vandergriff has been doing a really good job on the scout team. He gives us a really good look. He does a great job. Micah Morris has done a tremendous job. Defensively last week, John Staten was Skowski and did a really good job of representing him. Xavier Sori has worked really hard, and Jonathan Jefferson has really improved. So those guys probably stick out as high effort guys that practice really hard each day to make us better.
Thanks, Coach Smart.
Thank you, guys.